Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. My name is MisterET, and in today's vlog we do a little bit of maintenance to my MK7 GTI by changing one of the link kits. Stay tuned. So my car has about 50,000 miles on it, and most of those miles have been with the suspension lowered on the VWR springs. And when you lower a car, that puts a little bit more stress on stuff like link kits. So it is normal that this stuff wears out a little bit faster on a lowered car. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this as pain-free as possible, because if you've done this in the past, you know these can be pretty difficult to do, even though it's only 2 bolts that you have to remove and screw in. So I'm going to show you why it's a pain, and I'm going to show you how you get around that so you can do a pretty quick install. To get this done, you're going to need an 18mm gear wrench or just a regular wrench. You're going to need a pair of vice grips. I've got an M6 triple square. I've also got my impact with an 18mm on there. And I also have my electric impact, but that only has about 90 pound-feet of torque, so I'm not really sure with my car being a winter-driven car for 5 years that it's going to be able to remove that, so that's why we have the bigger impact. So we're going to be removing the two 18mm that hold the link kit on there. There's one at the top over here, and there is another one at the bottom right at the back there. And just to make things simple, this one points to the engine bay. So under normal circumstances, what you want to do is just put your 18mm on the nut. You want to get your M6 triple square on the end of this stud so it doesn't turn, and then you basically want to unscrew the nut and hold this in place. Now, on any car that has been winter driven and where there is a little bit of surface rust that starts to form is where you start having issues removing these link kits. Because what ends up happening is either you will strip the inside of this M6 triple square, or this will just start turning and you won't be able to do anything. So what I've actually found to work a lot better is you get a pair of vice grips like this. Since you're not going to be reusing your link kit, you basically put this end on the rubber side and basically hold that piece in place as you're removing this nut, just simply with an impact if there's room to do that. So let me show you guys what that looks like. So you've got the vice grips over here all the way at the back. As you can see, access isn't really great. And then you've got the impact on there. So I'm going to try and hit this with the impact and see if this wants to come out. And as you can see, it's not coming out. So that means my vice grip is not tight enough on the other end and it's just rotating. So what you can do if that doesn't work and your vice grip's on there and it's just spinning and spinning and it's not coming out, is you can actually try and remove the other end, and if that works, it has in my case, you can basically spin this until the ball end comes out of this rod, and that's going to give you a little bit more access to help you remove the rest of the nuts. So let's do that. So guys, as you can see, this is now out. The other end, that's a ball end, stayed in there. So I've put my vice grip on that piece, and I can't really show you guys because it's all the way at the back of the suspension here. And this is the other end that you can see. So as you can see, the M6 is in here, and then this is the 18mm. And what's interesting with this piece, and what I was trying to do, and because of access, it's a bit difficult, is this part here is all metal. So normally this is where you want to squeeze and put your vice grip on to hold this as you're removing the nut. So now that I've got the vice grip on the ball end of this stud here, I'm going to try with the gun once again and see if we can get this out.
2,000 years later.
Now guys, as you can see, once you remove this, this is how it was held on using the vice grips over here. So the replacement part we're going to be installing is something by Meili HD or Meili HD or Meili HD. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce the name. I was able to find this using, I believe, Parts Avatar, and got to me pretty quickly. It was about 40 bucks Canadian, and it's a lot cheaper than buying the stock one at the dealership. That's about double the price. So really, once you've removed it, it's really easy. All you have to do is really just install this in place, and once you've done that, you have to hook these guys up. Now, if you look at this closely, you're going to see that there's a couple notches on each side. So because this doesn't have the piece in the middle here to hold it, so you basically get a wrench on there to hold it on, and then you tighten. So let's just hit a quick time lapse on the install. Well guys, as you can see, I'm a sweaty mess. I'm a bit dirty, but the link kit is now reinstalled on the car. Overall, should be a 1 out of 5 install. If you are like me and you go through winters, this turns into a 3 out of 5 install because everything is stuck and there's rust, and sometimes you have to take out the grinder and vice grips and things like that. But hopefully that gave you some tips and tricks how to change a link kit when things are really stuck on there. So I hope you enjoyed this quick vlog today. Just a quick update for you guys before we finish off. I'm actually going to be uninstalling the JB4 that has been on the car now for about 3 years and going back to stock power for a little bit. But on the 18th and 19th of September, so about 3 weeks from now, I'm actually going to Eurokracy Montreal, and I'm gonna get this thing tuned by Unitronics, so stay tuned for a video on that. If you like this type of content, there's tons of other videos on me working on the MK7 GTI, installing some performance aftermarket parts or things like that. Do hit that like button. I would appreciate if you subscribe, and I will see you again in our next video.